Hello YouTube, Justin Blaze here again with another, yes again, this is number 4 I think number 4 of Legacy Deck Tech. I'm probably going to be doing around at least like 10 of these before like April, mind you, so I'm going to have a lot in there. I'm going to have like Death and Taxes and Green, Black, and Fact and Dread Still and like a bunch of crazy stuff eventually. This is Affinity. Now I was in the Marines from 2000 to 2004, so I really didn't get to play that much Magic. So I really like I got really back into competitive Magic near the tail end of the Mirrodin block. So by then it was already just the Banhammer had just like horribly just like killed this deck in Standard by then. It was mostly in my area like Tooth and Nail and stuff like that. I think there was like one guy that was playing like a Mike Flores red deck that just was horrible, but he kept playing it for some reason. So anyways, it went to Extended, and I picked it up in Extended. I was playing that, Blue-Green Madness. Then it rotated out of Extended. I put it away. But then I just, got back into playing Magic. Didn't sell any of my cards. I kept them all. But got back into playing, and I didn't want to go out and buy new stuff, so I just stuck with Legacy. I've been playing since Ice Age on and off. I got a lot of old cards, and I really just hate going out and buying just new cards left and right, so I just stick with Legacy now. So this is my Affinity build for Legacy. It can be very aggressive. I can go aggro very fast on you with Ravagers and Champions, cranial-plated, flying creatures. I can go combo with just Tezzeret and just kill you. So I got a couple of outs, which is why I like this build. I know a lot of people do like a swarm build with like Memnites and Thopters and Signal Pests. I don't do that. I don't like Memnites and I don't like Signal Pests. I mean, I've tried them, but I'm not really big into the Signal Pest and Memnite. I'd rather just play Cheerios and run it that way with Memnites. So, take you through my deck real quick. We have our 3 Ancient Tombs. I initially ran 2, but I wasn't drawing them enough. I wanted to get, that hopefully first turn Ancient Tomb, and then crack it, maybe revoke, Phyrexian Revoker, or Ravager, or, a couple of 1-mana cost, Springleaf Drums or something just, insane like that on turn 1. Maybe a Vault Scourge, something relatively quick on turn 1. Great Furnace, tap for red. Vault of Whispers, tap for black. Seed of the Synod, or Synod, I've heard it pronounced multiple times. Tap for blue. Glimmer Void, our Painless City of Brass, as long as you have an artifact, land, or artifact in general in play, it doesn't have to die at the end of your turn. And then, of course, our Mox Opals. I initially tried the idea of just running 2. That's not enough. I think 4 is too many, though. Me personally, I would just go with 3. 3 seems like the good number. You don't get flooded with just a bunch of opals that you really can't cast. I mean, you with the new legend rule, you can cast it. You just have to basically cast one, tap it, cast another, sack the one you've already tapped, and tap the one you just cast, and you just have to go through a bunch of hoops to just get like all 3 of them out, and it's just, I don't want to do that crap. It makes it more complicated than it already is. I just run 3. If I have multiples, I wait for a Ravager and just, sack it to the Ravager and put a counter on it. That's it. Alright, real simple. Got our Ornithopters, 0 mana cost, flyer. Very good at, play this on turn 1 with an Ancient Tomb and pay your 2 life and get a Cranial Plating out. And then, next turn he can swing for 2 or 3 or hell 4 or 5 even. You don't know. It can get fast. That's why I say this can be real fast. And then we got our Springleaf Drum. This is another mana source. I tried Paradise Mantle too. I didn't like the idea of just having to just continually equip, because there are certain situations I don't want to, have it on just one creature. I want to be able to choose what creature I can tap, what creature I can untap, and it's going to change. If you play the deck, you're going to realize, yeah, this might change turn to turn, which one you're going to be tapping for mana. Plus, Springleaf Drum is an ability, not something like what Paradise Mantle would have. Paradise Mantle, you can't tap the creature when it comes into play. With Springleaf Drum, it's just, oh yeah, I play this and Ornithopter, tap the Springleaf Drum to tap the Ornithopter on turn 1 and play something else. So it speeds the deck up a bit, which is also what I love. 4 Cranial Platings. I've seen a few decks out there running Batterskull with Stoneforge Mystics in there. You can do it that way. That's not a problem. You can make it more of a Stoneforge Mystic, Batterskull, Cranial Platings, random couple of swords, maybe a Jit in the board, stuff like that. You can do it that way. I don't. I prefer to keep it just real simple, 4 Cranial Platings as the equipment. That's it. Then of course we got the 4 Ravagers. Not the I personally I dislike most of the artwork on Modern Masters, mind you. So I've had these for a long time. I'm gonna keep them. I'm not gonna give them away. I'm not gonna trade them unless I need like a kidney or something. So I like my my OG Ravager cards. Funny story on the Revokers. I ordered 4 Phyrexian Revokers, and when I order cards, I order a bunch online. I go through TCG, I'd go through their store, go through their optimizer, say, okay, give me the cheapest cards with the price and shipping and handling included, boom, and I get my list, save money, there's my shameless plug, but it works. I actually totally didn't mean to buy 4 foil Phyrexian Revokers like I'm a pimp and I want to pimp out the deck, because I personally don't like doing that. I think, to me, I think it's a waste of money. I mean, I have, better stuff to do. I could spend, $50 and buy a bunch of, foil mountains for my burn deck, or I could go get like a Taiga for something else. So I don't really do that with foils. But these apparently were the cheapest, so I got them. That's why they're in the deck. I love them, actually. Not because they're full. I love them because I can just bring them down turn 1 and just boom, shut off a Chrome Mox, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, Charbelcher. You can shut off anything. It just says a non-land card. It doesn't say mana sources. It just says non-land, so bear that in mind. You can shut down Mom, Aether Vial, any type of equipment, Stoneforge Mystic, any of those you can shut off. And granted, they're activated, not triggered abilities, but still, there's a lot of really good activated abilities. Okay, like Deathrite Shaman or Birchlore Rangers or what is it, Heritage Druid or Heritage Elf, one of the elf that tap 3 elves, add 3 mana. Yeah, shut those off. Yeah, they won't be generating much mana now. So, with Ancient Tomb, boom, you can get that out in turn 1. You play a Charbelcher deck, you just tap that, oh yeah, I call it Charbelcher, and they might not go off with Empty the Warrens for like 15 or 16 or something, but hey, it gives you the ability to stop it. I mean, it's a Pithing Needle on legs. I love it. It's great. I've literally just pissed off so many people with it. We got our champions. Normally when you cast this, you do have Metalcraft, so he's basically pro everything. So nothing but artifacts are gonna, artifacts or colorless creatures are gonna be able to block it. Perfect candidate to carry your Cranial Platings. This is not an expensive deck. The most expensive card is going to be your Opals and I think your Ravagers, and that's it. I think Opals now are going for like $30. I got them when they were like 12 or something. So you get them while they're hot, basically. And I think Ravagers might be below 20. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I haven't checked because I got these like 5 years ago, so I don't know. But it's real good. You know, it's 3 mana cost. I've had this with Metalcraft in play on turn 1. I mean, literally, it's been like, you know, Ancient Tomb, double Springleaf Drum, double Ornithopter, Mox Opal, bam, 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 bam. Okay, tap, you know, etch champion. What did I draw? I drew a Cranial Plating. I had the mana to cast and equip. I mean, that game was over pretty quick though, because I won. So it's a great card. It's actually relatively cheap. I think this is like under $5 a piece, so it's real good. And then, real simple, we got, you know, Galvanic Blast. Once again, I've never cast this for less than 4 damage for 1 red mana. So it's real good. Great way to just get blockers out. Great way to maybe deal the last few points of damage if needed. It's all around utility, basically. You know, remove blockers. You know, deal the final points of damage to, say, a Tarmogoyf for something to get rid of it. You know, final points to your opponent. Real good. Vault Scourge. Now, I had 3 open slots in the deck. I tried Memnite. I really just didn't like the Swarm idea. You know, every time I played it with the Memnites and Ornithopters, I just kind of felt like I was running like a low grade Goblin deck. So I tried Signal Pest, but you know, I really didn't jive with it. I liked the Battle Cry on Signal Pest, you know, pump all my creatures, which is great, you know, a couple Ornithopters and 2 Pests in play on like turn 2. That's great. I'm swinging for what, 6, 7, 8 damage, something like that. I don't know. My math is off. It's a long day. But I like it. It's flying. It's got the evasion. It's got lifelink. Okay. So, I mean, I could hook it up with a Cranial Plating, and even if it dies, I can gain 10 life or something and just prolong the game. And just grind them out if needed. Which brings us to our next card, Master of Ethereum. I wanted... initially, when I was running it, I knew I wanted some buff. So the ability to buff my guys, so I figured, okay, Signal Pass, you know, some Masters of Ethereum, that's great. Signal Pass didn't work out that well the way I run it, but I like the Master of Ethereum. 2 is only all I really use. I mean, normally I drop 1 of them in play and it pumps everything up. A lot of times I've just got a concession with that. If I'm going against another aggro deck, or if I'm going against a control deck and I get to drop it, a lot of people just say, okay, that's it. Because they either A, can't remove it, or it's just, I mean, it's an artifact lord with power and toughness that's variable depending on the number of artifacts, and there's a lot of artifacts, so he can come down on turn 2, on turn 3, even, you know, 5/5, 6/6. He's a big guy, real quick. So, you know, I didn't want it to clog my hand, though. I didn't want to have multiple copies in my hand, you know, so I figured originally with 3, tested it, didn't work out that well, but 2 of them seems fine. You know, it's more of a utility, you know, than just... They're like the way goblins would have like a couple of lords to lower mana cost and, you know, give haste. It's more of a utility spell for this deck. And then our Thoughtcast, of course, you know, 1 mana, draw 3. Interesting. Today I was just randomly randomly playing the deck against the kitchen table here, and I got like the nut draw where I ended up having the ability to go double Thoughtcast on turn 1, and it was like hilarious. I just looked at it and I go, why doesn't that ever happen in like a tournament? And it's like double Thoughtcast turn 1. It's like your opponent would just want to punch you for that, because it was hilarious. and I just said, damn, I wish I could do this in a tournament. But you know, it's good. It's our basic card draw, because that's what we do. We don't want to run Thirst for Knowledge because I don't want to discard a bunch of crap. I don't even want to discard Artifact Land if I have the ability to, because it's going to power up a lot of stuff. You know, it can power up Ravager, Etch Champion with a Cranial Plating, Master of Ethereum, you know, Tezzeret, or combo kill. So I don't want to discard anything unless I legitimately have more than 8 or more than 7 cards and I can't play anything. So that's why we don't run Thirst for Knowledge. And then we have Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. I want to go up to 3 on this guy, because he's really, really good. He comes in, most of the time this is how it's going to go. He's going to come in with 3 counters. You're going to +1 him, top 5, pull an artifact, pass the turn. And then next turn you're going to draw, play whatever artifacts you have, and then just game. Because his last ability, you know, X damage, you know, you drain X life from your opponent and you gain it, where X is twice the number of artifacts you control. I mean, that is, normally that's just game. It's just like, yeah, I got 10 artifacts, take 20. You know, well, they can respond by killing some artifacts, but if they're relatively lower than, say, 14, they're probably not going to be able to do a lot. But I really want to go up to 4, or no, sorry, I want to go up to 3 on this guy, because he just has that, it's just the combo finish like that. It can be real quick. It's just +1, pass the turn, untap, game. And you know, even if I can't do it like that and I gotta wait, say, another turn, I can just tutor something else up that's gonna annoy the hell out of you with it. Which is another thing I love about him. I can, you know, top 5. I mean, hell, we got Thoughtcast, Galvanic Blast, and Ancient Tomb and Glimmer Void. That's the non-artifacts in the main deck, and the chances of you having all 5 cards being made of those is pretty slim for this deck. So let's go to the sideboard now. We have 1 Pithing Needle. Even though I can't tutor it, it's another Revoker basically without the 2/1 body on it. That's why I got it. It's just another way to annoy people. Although this one can name a land. So you could name something like Wasteland if you really needed to. I don't see, you know, I mean, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But you could name like a utility land or something that maybe, you know, maybe somebody's got like Maze of Ith in play or something. You know, you could name that. I don't know. Grave Hate. I don't know. I got 1 Crypt and 2 Relics. I'm not really sure whether I want to do it this way or I want to go with Surgical. I like it this way because it ups my artifact count simply for that fact. I can +1 Tezzeret for it, and that's another reason why I have them. Kind of tutorable. I know I'm going to get crap for this one. I got Oxidize. I want Nature's Claim. I just don't own any of them. You know, I don't have the ability to get to a card shop that easily just to grab like 10-cent common, so I'm running Oxidize right now. I'm working on getting Nature's Claim. Tide Hollow Scullers for combo and control matchups. Here's how you do it. You want the card permanently removed? Cast it. Comes into playability, goes on the stack. Sack it to Ravager. Leaves playability, goes on top of it. Leaves playability, resolves. Your opponent doesn't get any cards back. Comes into playability, resolves. Cards permanently removed. There you go. O-Rings. Gotta fight show and tell somehow. And this is my choice. And then we got our 2 Mindbreak Traps. Combo matchups. Real simple. I just, you know, I got 2, so I put them in there. I might go up to 3. Probably go down to 3 Tide Hollow Scullers though. But that's basically what I would do to fight combo. And this is my Legacy Affinity. A couple $100. So, hey, like, comment, and subscribe for more Legacy decks.